Hey everyone, welcome back to yet another video. So for anybody who's a regular on this channel, you may not be interested in this particular video if you haven't guessed. Well, evidently, if you're watching this video, then you're interested. So anyway, this has nothing to do with record collecting. This has nothing to do with music. I'm not sure I should be wearing this hat, but it is my trademark, so I'm going to keep it on for right now. If you just happen to stumble across this video, I appreciate you watching. Thank you. This is going to be the first of several. I'm not sure exactly how many. Might be a common theme around here now. I won't go too deep into my motivation for this video, but it is October. It is Halloween time, and I have probably never really talked about this before, but I really enjoy Halloween. I was motivated to do this video because I am super excited this year. For some reason this year I went all out on getting a costume, and really only because I'm a huge Halloween, Michael Myers Halloween, okay? I'm a huge Halloween fan of the franchise. Minus number 3, doesn't really count. Anyway, so I was really excited this year. I don't know what did it. I just it just clicked. Things happened to line up right, and I am in a process of getting. I need 2 more items to finish up the costume of Michael Myers, the #1 serial killer in history in horror films. My other favorite, not serial killer, would have to be Jack Torrance with The Shining, of course. But anyway, as far as serial killers in horror movies, Michael Myers is, I almost said Michael Jackson. Michael Myers is by far my favorite and has been my favorite for many, many, many years. So this year I am a complete costume head to toe. And this particular video is going to be regarding his weapon of choice, his knife. So what's so important about this knife? You know, when I started this venture of getting this costume together, I knew there were 2 things that has to be right. They don't have to be scream accurate, but they have to be right, because if they're off, then it just ruins the whole costume. 2 main things to just get a basic look at Michael Myers, or have a nice Michael Myers costume or outfit, whatever, I think is the mask and a knife. His overalls can be done with, you don't have to get screen accurate overalls. Boots, you can wear a black shoe if you want, black, whatever kind of you have, whatever kind of shoes or boots you have, you can kind of get off by just doing using what you have. But I think that the mask and the knife is key. So I wanted both of them to be right. So for this video, we're gonna concentrate on his knife. Now, this isn't by any means screen accurate. Over a week ago, I started looking for 17-inch knives, because in the original 1978 Halloween movie, he used a 17-inch. Oh cripes! The brand of the knife just skipped my mind. Lanson, I think is the name of it. It is a 17-inch blade. So I seeked out a real knife, an actual knife. This is a real knife. This is, I think, 14 or 15 inches in diameter from the tip to the butt. But it's just not big enough. You know, I was going to use this. I was going to file it down and make it completely flat and user safe. I was going to cut off the tip, but then that would make it even shorter. So I held on to this for a bit until, you know, something will come along. And I didn't want to use a fake knife, because these knives they have in stores, that's the problem. They look fake. But I want to tell you what I did to make this look the way it did. Now, I don't have a before picture. Actually, I do, but I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. Let me see if I can pull it up. I spare no expense with editing here. The problem is I don't have the ability to edit my videos. I just don't. You know, I wish I did. But what I'd like you to do is take a look at the basic details. Now, if you look at the handle and you look at these, well, that's supposed to be rivets that hold the blade in place. That's just paint. It's not it's nothing. It's just paint. It's not a real. And you get a gist. You kind of take a look at the handle right here. Okay. Alrighty. And then that's it. I know it's not the best, but it's the best I could do to show you the difference. So, where did I get this knife? Well, first off, I decided to get this knife. It was at Spirit. Okay. I saw it and I was like, holy shit, that's perfect, because I can modify it the way I need it. Again, this is not supposed to be screen accurate, of course, but it is 17 inches long from the tip all the way to the butt of the knife, and it's I guess you can call it cosplay friendly, because it's not a real knife. It's just foam. Okay, but what I did basically was, let me get a little closer here. So this has a lot of paint on it. So basically the first thing I did was I cut off this piece right here so it was flat and it didn't have so it doesn't have that little funny shape right here. Alrighty, and then I proceeded to sand everything down lightly to get rid of the shine, and then I took a metallic spray paint that, I mean, I didn't buy any of this stuff. I had all this stuff on hand, and I just kind of sanded it down lightly, got rid of the shine, and then I just lightly sprayed the blade. Okay, and that gives it the shine. And before I added the blood, what I had done was after I painted it, I had taken sandpaper lightly, and just on the blade part I actually just kind of filed it, because on a real knife it doesn't match the rest of the blade. It's supposed to be sharp, so this shouldn't be shiny. So you can kind of tell, kind of not, maybe on this side a little bit. It's a little bit of a different color, and that's the look I was looking for. So and then what I do, so what I did was, it smells like too bad it's not scratch and sniff the screen. It looks totally real. How did I get that? How did I pull? I've never done any of this before. I've always been a little crafty with things in here and there, but I've never done this. So what I did was, after I briefly sanded it, and another detail that I couldn't show in that picture is this right here. I wanted this detail because this shows that the blade goes all the way through, and that looks like a real handle. Well, this was not here. This was just the color of the handle, because it was just supposed to look like, you know, wood. So this metallic right here was not there. I taped it off and I painted it so it looks like the blade goes all the way to the back, and it looks like you have two pieces of wood here. So, and you can kind of see that there, see it there, and there. Okay, so that definitely, that in itself just gave it such a three-dimensional real knife look. Okay, taped it off, and the same paint I used for the blade, I just taped it off and I painted all the way around, and that absolutely looks like a real knife. Now the two other key things that I did that made this look super real was, this does not look like foam. Trust me, it's foam. It does not look like foam at all. I don't know how well you can see it, but so if you could see if you remember the picture, these right here, well, what I did was, on the original knife, it's just paint. There's nothing really, it's just paint. So what my first initial idea was I was going to get a wooden dowel, and drill a hole and put the wooden dowel through, and that'll give it three-dimensional. It'll look real. I just paint it silver. That was really complex. I was like, I don't really want to drill into this knife if I don't have to. My next idea, I had all this on hand, I took regular, sorry, a little interruption over here, and this really makes it look real. I took thumbtacks, Now you could either use, I was use the ones that are like, they look like brass. They look almost kind of gold, but supposed to be, you know, like copper or brass. You can use just a regular plain ones, but the ones I had were painted white, so I just sanded the white off the thumbtack, and I super glued these in place. Now I put 3 because in the picture the original knife just had 2 painted, one here and one here, so I felt it really needed 3. So I did. I took the thumbtacks, and look, they're actually thumbtacks, but it doesn't look like it when it's like that. It looks like it's a rivet that goes all the way through. And I super glued them into place. Okay, and they're just thumbtacks, and that totally, you know, finishes it off. So the texture of the handle, or what did I use for the handle? So after I sanded it, I wasn't sure this is going to work. It's still a little tacky, but that's all right. You know, it gives it a little wear and tear look. It smells like varnish. There's a good reason for that. So I use varnish. Foam. How does it react to foam? It doesn't, you know, the only downside to it is it stays wet for a very long time, but that's I don't care. It gives, what it did was, it was really kind of, it was like you couldn't really tell from that picture, but it looked like a plastic, not even plastic. It looked like cheap plastic or foam covered handle, because that's exactly what it was. So what I did was I sanded it down lightly. Some of the black foam came through, but that's okay. I didn't want to sand that much. I just wanted to get rid of the shininess. So what I did was, after I put my thumbtacks in place, I actually, after sanding it, I took varnish, and again, I had all this on hand. I took the varnish container, and I took the cover off, and I took my paintbrush and went all the way to the down to the bottom, where all the, like, usually when you go and I think I've been saying varnish, but I meant to say stain. So when you go to stain something, you usually take your rag out of the container and then stain something. But on the very bottom of where everything settles, all the, like, the thick, like clay-like material on the bottom of the stain container, it settles down there. So what I did was I took a paintbrush and I stuck it way down to the bottom of the can, and I wished it around like this on the very corners of the can, or the sides of the can, and I had like almost like a thick or watery clay on my paintbrush, and I took that and I put it on here, and I rubbed it on a little bit with the paintbrush, and then I took a rag and I kind of rubbed it, and what that effect did was, it made it much darker, and it came out darker than I wanted, but the handle was black underneath, so it's not really, unless I painted it light brown to begin with. It came out darker than I wanted, but probably lighter than what you can see in this video here, but it's sufficient. It's absolutely fine. That absolutely finishes. It absolutely looks like a real knife. But you know, using the bottom of the stain can, really using all that stain really finishes it off. It really made it look like a real handle. It looked like a real wood. And when you're holding it from a distance, you know, and then I kept painting. There was too much red or too much silver or chrome or whatever. So I just kept, this is something you can't really screw up. You just keep going over it until it's right. I wanted it to look like it was a bit bloody, but I didn't want it to look like all blood. I wanted you to be able to see, I wanted you to be able to see the chrome or the blade underneath. So, you know, you can see the equal effects of it. So the whole thing's not red. At first, the whole thing was red. I was like, oh shit! I wiped it down and I just painted chrome, and I did the red. I did the red again, and I kept doing that for like 10 or 15 minutes. It's actually a bit heavier because I have so much paint on it. But this is pretty much dry. It's a little tacky here and there, but it's pretty much dry. But like I said, just something you can't really screw up. I had too much red in it. I painted some chrome, and then I painted some red on it, and then I did some chrome, and then went back and forth until I had the effect I wanted. You know, and I think it came out great. Wait until you see the rest of the outfit, the costume. It's gonna be killer. It's gonna be killer. But I absolutely, this came out better than I expected. You know, little tricks here and there that I used. I don't know why I'm in the field that I'm in now, because this is what I do for a living. But this is some great ideas. You know, some thumbtacks, some stain, and some paint. That's really it. I don't know if I said this in the beginning, but I paid like $8 for this knife. I had a coupon for it at Spirit. It was $8, and it was absolutely perfect. I just modified it the way I needed it to, and that's it. The next video is going to be in relation to Halloween. The next video is more than likely going to be, it's going to be probably my entire costume, or at least the mask. It's not. I'm not going to do a review on the mask. The reviews have been reviews are all over YouTube. There's no need to do a review on the mask. I'm just going to kind of do a show of what the mask is, what it looks like. I'll talk briefly about it, where I got it, maybe just show you. You know, it's a really nice mask. And I'm a smart shopper, so I shop around, and I'm glad I did, because I got a good deal, and I will be showing that. Again, it's not going to be a review on the Michael Myers mask. It's simply going to be just kind of a showcase of, hey, this is kind of one of the main pieces for the costume, and I'll talk about it more. Probably going to be in the next video or two. But here you go. Michael Myers. Thanks for watching.